Today's lesson is on writing equations of lines given a point and a slope and given 2 points. So we remember y equals mx plus b from before. When you're given x and y, this is a point. These points can be substituted into this equation for x and y. M is your slope, which is that guy right there, and b is your y-intercept. All of that is old news. Already know that. So here we go. Write an equation of a line with a slope of 4 that goes through the point -3, 4. Well, these are the magical words. Write an equation of a line. An equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. The information that you need to go into this equation is you need a slope and you need a b. So your job is to find m and b. Again, your job is to find the slope and the y-intercept so that you can plug numbers into there, so then you'll have your equation. Well, look, I was really nice and I gave you the slope. It says that you have a slope of 4. So I already have half my information. The problem is that I don't know my b. I don't know my y-intercept. Okay, but what other piece of information did I give you? I gave you a point. When I give you a point, I give you an x and a y. Okay, so think about the relationship between all of these variables. I already have my slope. I gave you an x and a y. If I put numbers in all those places, couldn't I solve that equation for b? And then I would know what b is. So let's try that. If I have y equals mx plus b. Okay, so what's my y? Well, the y is from your point. The y value of your point. So that's a 4. And then my m is my slope. My x is the x value of my point. And then I don't know b. That's what I'm trying to find. So to solve for b, what would we do first? We would multiply 4 times -3. And then to solve for b, we would add 12 to both sides. So b equals 16. Well, is that my answer? No, but that's the rest of the information that I need in order to write the equation of my line. Remember, y equals mx plus b is the equation of my line, and your job was to find m and b, which we have. So my equation is y equals 4x plus 16. Don't use your point in your final answer. This is just one point that our line goes through, and we used it to find our b. But you don't plug that into your final answer. You just want your slope and your y-intercept in your final answer. Okay, let's try another one. Write an equation of a line with a slope of -2 that passes through the point -4, -1. Here are the magical words. You start, y equals mx plus b. You need m and b. So there's my setup every time. All right, what information did I give you? I told you you had a slope of a -2. So you now know m. What I don't know is the b. But I'm telling you that we go through the point -4, -1. Again, remember that's an x and that's a y. So I'm going to plug all this information into my y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to solve for b. So my y is -1. My m, my slope, is a -2. My x is a -4 plus b. -2 times -4 is a +8. And then to solve for b, I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. B is a -9. Now that's not my answer, but that is the last piece of information I need so that I can write my answer. Y equals -2x minus 9. And that's the equation of my line. Number 3. Write an equation with a line with a slope of 1/2 that passes through the point 2, -3. So write the equation of a line. I know I need m and b. Gave you that the slope is 1/2. So let's see, we go 3 equals M is a 1/2, X is a 2 plus B. 1/2 times 2. A lot of you can just look at that and know that it's a 1. You can type it into your calculator if you want to. You can also use this little trick. This right here means divide. So if you'll take your 2 and divide it into the big 2 and then multiply back. Divide up, multiply back. So 2 goes into 2 one time, and 1 times 1 is 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. So the equation of my line is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Remember to put your x with your slope. Don't just write y equals 1/2 plus 2. Okay, write an equation of a line with a slope of 0 that passes through the point 5, -8. Okay, now hold on. Slope is 0. That's one of those weird cases, right? Slope of 0. What does that look like? Well, that's a horizontal line, right? Think about your slope of 0. I have a slope of 0, and I pass through the point 5, -8. Okay, so let's think about this. 5, -8, horizontal. So what would the equation of this line be? Is this y equals or is this x equals? Is this the weird one or is this the super freak? And this is just the weird one. So it's going to be y equals, okay, where is it going through the y-axis? -8. There's your line. That's it. You don't plug anything into any formulas. You just know when you have a slope of 0 or if you have a slope that's undefined, one of the two, you just graph it. Graph it, look at your point, and go from there. Okay, so you knew this one had to be coming. Write the equation of a line with no slope, that means undefined, that passes through the point -5, 6. Okay, so it's one of the weird ones, so I'm going to draw it. -5, 6. What does an undefined slope look like? It is a vertical line. Vertical lines are x equals, and where is it crossing the x-axis? And that's at -5. Now, if you can handle that okay, then try this. If you go back to the one before it, we knew this one was a y equals because it was a horizontal line, and it will always be y equals the y value of your point. On this one, since our slope was undefined, we knew it was a vertical line. Vertical lines are always x equals, and it's x equals the x value of your point. So that can save you some time if you don't want to have to graph it, that's fine. But you still need to know if your slope is undefined, it's going to be x equals, and if your slope is 0, it's going to be y equals. Okay, so changing gears a little bit. Number 6. Write the equation of a line that passes through the 2 points, 1, -19, and -2, 7. So here's my write the equation of a line. I need M and B, and I didn't give you either one. But if I gave you 2 points, can you find the slope? What was that slope formula? Y minus y over x minus x. M equals y minus y over x minus x. So that would be a -12 over 3, which is a -4. So now I have this. Okay, well now I need my B. B is my y-intercept. Isn't this like what we did on number 1 and number 2 and number 3? If I have my slope, I just need to use this because I know him. The question is, do you have an x and a y? Well, sure. Actually, I have 2 sets of x's and y's. So does it matter which point I pick? And the answer is no. Both of these points are on the same line. This line only has one y-intercept. So you can pick either point you want. I'm going to pick the smaller numbers just because life is too short to deal with big numbers if you have an option. So what's your y? -7 equals, what's your m? Well, that's what you found, -4. What's your x? That's from your point, that's a -2. So negative 7 equals positive 8 plus b. Subtract 8 from both sides. B equals a negative 15. Use this information to write the equation of your line. Done. So this is a lot like what we did at the beginning, but we're just having to find the slope first. We're having to do this part first. Well, we found the slope for 2 chapters now. It's a piece of cake. But be very careful, because if you mess your slope up, because you're using your slope in this equation, if you mess your slope up, you're going to also mess your B up. So slow down, take your time, and watch your careless mistakes. Write the equation of a line that goes through the points 6, negative 2, negative 12, and 15, negative 3. So write the equation of a line means that I need this, and I know I need this, and this. Now, I didn't give you either one. So what's the first one you're going to find? You're going to find your slope. M equals y minus y over x minus x. Negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9. 6 minus 15 is a negative 9. A negative 9 divided by negative 9 is a positive 1. Take my slope and going with this guy, doesn't matter. So my y is a negative 12. My slope is a 1. My x is a 6. And I don't know my b. B is a negative 18. Use my information, and you could just write this if you wanted to. Either one is fine. Okay, write the equation of a line going through the points 1, negative 19, and 1, negative 7. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. I need m and b. I didn't give you either one, so we have to find our slope first. So m equals y minus y over x minus x. Negative 19 plus 7 is a negative 12 over 0. Okay, here we go. 0 on the bottom. Which one is that? Is that the 0 or is that the undefined? And if you forget, remember your calculator will tell you. If you type it in, it'll either tell you that it's 0 or it'll give you an error. Either way. This one is the undefined. 0 on the bottom is undefined. Well, if my slope is undefined, then my y-intercept is also undefined. Remember, those always go hand in hand. Okay, now use your brain. Think. If my slope is undefined and my y-intercept is also undefined, what kind of function is this? What kind of equation is this? This is the super freak. This is x equals. Well, x equals what? So let's see if we can figure this out. If I plot my points at 1, negative 19, I'm just going to go down a bunch, and then 1, negative 7, wouldn't your vertical line look like that? Except it would have hit that point right there. So this is x equals, where is it crossing the x-axis? And the answer is 1. That's your answer. Another way you can do this without having to graph it is, guys, look at your points. Do you see how the x values are the same? That means it's going to be x equals 1. Once you know your slope is undefined, you know this is an x equals equation. If it's x equals, it's going to be x equals the x value of your points. Now, some people may sit here and say, well, what if your x values are different? They can't be different. If your slope is undefined, it's because you get 0 on the bottom. The reason you get 0 on the bottom is because you've got the same number under here. So if it's x equals, it's going to be x equals the x value of your points, which will always be the same. And that'll keep you from having to graph it. Write the equation of the line that passes through the 2 points 9, 3, and 19, negative 17. So write the equation of a line. I need m and b. Okay, I don't have either, so I got to find my slope. Y minus y over x minus x. 3 plus 17 is 20. 9 minus 19 is negative 10. That's negative 2. Pick a point. Picking my smaller point. So y equals m x plus b. 21. Use that information. Y equals negative 2x plus 21. Okay, last one. Write the equation of a line through the points 1, negative 1, and negative 2, negative 1. So write the equation. I need y equals mx plus b. I didn't give you either one, so I got to find my slope first. Y minus y over x minus x. 0 over 3. 0 on top is 0. If you don't remember, you type it in your calculator. So my slope is 0. Okay, stop and think. If your slope is 0, this is the weird one, not the super freak. This is just the weird one. So this is a horizontal line. Horizontal line is y equals. Well, y equals what? Look at your points. Look at the y values of your points. And that'll tell you what this needs to equal. Just like it did when it was x equals. When our slope was undefined and this was x equals, it was x equals the x value of our points because they were the same. So when your slope is a 0, it's going to be y equals a number. And to get that number, just go look at your points and your y value should be the same. If that doesn't do it for you, then you can graph it. And you can see that it's y equals negative 1. Okay, just to kind of put it all together, we'll do these two together also. It says write the equation of a line through the points 2, 10, and 6, negative 14. So I'm going to use my y equals mx plus b. I need m and b. I didn't give you either one, so first thing we have to do is find m. Y minus y over x minus x. So there's my slope. I'm picking this point. So y equals m x plus b. B equals 22. So my answer is y equals negative 6x plus 22. Piece of cake. Number 2. Now sometimes when we've done ones like number 1, it makes ones like number 2 more difficult. But remember, the ones like number 2 are actually easier because let's look at what I gave you. It says write an equation of a line with a slope of 1/3 that passes through the point negative 6, 6. Well, how is this easier? I gave you the slope. That takes that whole first step out. So I still need y equals mx plus b. I still need m, and I still need b, but I gave you the slope. I'm telling you that the slope is a 1/3. Therefore, I'm only going to give you 1 point, which is all I need to find my b. So y equals mx plus b. Now remember my little trick here. Divide up, multiply back. 3 into negative 6 is a negative 2. Negative 2 times 1 is a negative 2. I'll do that again. 3 into negative 6 is a negative 2. And negative 2 times the 1 is a negative 2. Divide up, multiply back. B equals 8. So y equals 1/3 x plus 8. So we've covered two types of problems today. One where I give you the slope, I give this to you, and you have to find the y-intercept. And ones where I don't give you either one, and you have to find the slope first, and then go find the y-intercept. Keep in mind that if your slope is 0, it's going to be y equals a number, and you get that number from your points, from the y's, because they should be the same. And if your slope is undefined, it's going to be x equals a number, and you get the x values from the x's of your points.